So I was gonna edit the video yesterday, right? And as I was getting home, I found out that the whole, as most of you probably already know, the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened. And I mean, I'm a Christian, and I've been a Christian for a few years now. I would consider myself a conservative. I hold to more conservative values because I hold to more biblical values. I do believe that marriage is between one man and one woman, how God established it to. I do believe that abortion is not okay. Abortion, no matter how you want to look at it, is the killing of another human being. It doesn't matter how you want to look at it. And the real debate is on whether it is okay or not, and what circumstances it's okay or not. I believe at the bare minimum, like 97% of circumstances that abortions happen, it is not okay. I can hear the arguments, and I can sympathize with the arguments on the cases of rape and incest and all that. If we allowed just abortions for those instincts alone, that would automatically get rid of 98% of abortions that happen, because the majority of abortions that happen do not come from those circumstances. That's just the truth. Regardless, I would consider myself pro-life, right? Because I believe that life begins at conception. That's a human being in there. So obviously, because of that, there's a lot of points that I agreed with on Charlie Kirk, you know? Like, I listened to this dude for years now, and there's a lot of points that obviously I agree with. We agree on the pro-life thing, we agree on the marriage thing, we agree on the importance of God in our country. Like, I believe that a large reason of why we see so much of the change that we've seen in the country when it comes to the negative stuff is because of because of the growing number of people that are non-religious. Like, I believe like almost 40 or like half of Gen Z is non-religious, and then like almost like 30% of people in America are non-religious now. So I've been watching this dude for a while now, and I'm just baffled, kind of a loss for words. It's been a day. It happened yesterday. And it's not only because, the reason I bring up what I believe is because it's obvious that you might think it's because I'm biased. It's like, oh, obviously you're gonna feel bad because it's a dude that you agree with. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I agree with him on, but there's some stuff I definitely disagreed with him on. Obviously, I would mostly agree with a lot of the stuff he said. He was very much a Christian. He was a very strong believer in God and Jesus, and I know he is right now in his glory and in a much better place than we are right now. But to be 100% honest, it is a little frightening to think of the society we've come to, how bad this country has gotten when it comes to the discourse. Like, there's a clip of Charlie Kirk, where he said, like, when we stop talking is when violence starts. And I believe, you know, we've gotten to a point where it's like there's so many people that disagree with us that just do not want to even have the discussion. They don't want to have that open mind. They don't want to even hear the other side, hear the other opposing viewpoint. Like, it's just, no, you're just wrong. And because of that, there's a lot of people that think you deserve to die because you have an opposing viewpoint to them. You know? Like, I 1,000,000% see, like, on the pro-choice issue, the pro-life issue, I see why so many people are on the other pro-choice side. Whenever you hear the hypothetical stories of what about the 10-year-old? What about the rape instance? What about the instance of SA? You know, what about this and that? So I sympathize with all those scenarios, and I sympathize with all that reasoning, right? But then on the same time, I don't see many pro-choice people putting themselves in the shoes of the pro-life person and being like, this person genuinely, wholeheartedly believes that is a human being's life that we are ending through abortion. Just put it in that perspective. If you genuinely believe, like I do, and like millions and millions of other people do in this country, if you genuinely believe that that is a human being and that you're killing a human being, then obviously you're going to be against that. You can feel free to disagree with me and not see it from that viewpoint, but at the bare minimum, you can see how from our perspective, from our beliefs, It is genuinely a bad thing. Like, you can see why we get to the conclusion that we get to, right? Our Father who is in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but rather deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. The Lord's Prayer is a beautiful thing for us to remember, not just in times like this. I think in times like this specifically, but just every day. But especially in times like this, through the Lord's Prayer, we're reminded that God's kingdom, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. The kingdom of God is going to come down whether we like it or not. And it might take a few decades, it might take a year, it might take a month, it might take 100 years, it might take 1,000 years. We don't know. But we can have assurance that his kingdom will come. And it is a kingdom that has no end. A kingdom that there is no sorrow and every tear is wiped away. And everyone who has accepted Christ is going to be there. Millions and millions of other people that have died believing in Christ are in heaven right now, rejoicing with the Lord, waiting for their brothers and sisters to join them. And we're reminded that his will comes and his will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. That the will of God will always come, but sometimes we don't understand it. For his thoughts are not my thoughts, and his ways are not my ways, right? For his ways are higher and his thoughts are higher. They're so much more infinitely times higher than we can possibly imagine. We don't know why God allows evil to happen, but we know that in the end, he's the almighty, all-knowing, all-good God that has a purpose for allowing the things that happen to happen. It's hard for us to see that sometimes. Every time we ask God to forgive us for our trespasses, we forgive those who trespass against us, right? We have to forgive. And sometimes it's hard, especially whenever someone, we're not even talking about the shooter in this point. We're talking about just people, online right now, the amount of people that are celebrating and are happy that this happened is insane to me. That's what scares me and makes me nervous the most, is the amount of people. It's not like a fringe minority. It's not like, oh, every now and then you see a comment. No, it's like a 50-50 split almost. It's insane how crazy, how divisive this country is right now. How much we hate each other for words and for opinions, for differentiating viewpoints. We are to forgive those who trespass against us. Although they may hate us, we are to remember that we are called to forgive them. We are called to love everyone. For you have heard it said unto you, love your neighbors and hate your enemies. But I say unto you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. Right? We're called as sons and daughters of the Most High to love our enemies and pray for those that persecute us. So in this, I think that right now the best thing to do, the only thing that we can do, is just pray and pray and pray without ceasing, how we're called to do. And pray for Charlie's family, for his wife, who's now a widow, for 2 kids that now have to grow up with no father, who now have to grow up for the rest of their lives, with no father, missing that father figure. And then in the future, whenever they're older, they're gonna see the discourse and the people that opposed their father, and it's gonna be even more trauma whenever they see the people celebrate, the hateful, disgusting people that are celebrating and happy at them losing their father. That's gonna happen one day when they're older, and it's gonna definitely hurt them. We can take comfort in the fact that God is embracing their Father in heaven right now. Their Father in heaven is embracing their earthly father in heaven. But we need to pray that God comfort his family, comfort his daughters, his son. I believe he had a son. I'm not sure, but we need to pray for them. And also, I know this might sound crazy, but we need to pray for all the people that genuinely are celebrating. All the people that are happy this happened. We need to pray for them. We need to pray for the shooter. And I pray that he comes to justice and he gets what he did. Because for someone to be in a mental state where they are driven to hurt, not just hurt, but to assassinate, just straight up kill someone for differentiating viewpoints, you must be beyond hurting and beyond your inner thoughts, your inner heart, your inner voice must be disgusting to live with. It genuinely must be absolutely disgusting to live with that mentality 24/7. And it may not be now. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next year. It may not be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. But one day, he's going to pass away. He's going to. And he's going to meet the Almighty Judge. And he will answer for what he did. And unless he truly ends up repenting, which I don't know if that type of person would, based off of what I've seen on the ideology they had, then they're going to suffer a lot for what they have done. You need to pray for them as well. Pray for your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you, that you may be sons of your Father in heaven. Love your enemies. Love. Whenever people hear the word love your enemies, they're baffled. They're like, how am I supposed to love my enemies, right? Love isn't a lovey-dovey feeling. That is something that the world tells you. The world tells you that love is that fuzzy feeling you feel towards someone. That nice, happy, smiley feelings that you feel towards someone. That's not what love is. Now, a lot of the time, love is attached to that feeling. Yes, of course. But that feeling is not what love is. According to the Bible, right? From what we see in 1 Corinthians, it's 13. Where it says, love is patient and kind. It is not boastful, jealous, rude, or proud. It keeps no record of being wronged. It is not irritable, and it does not demand its own way. Love doesn't rejoice at injustice, but instead rejoices when the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. But that part right there, love does not rejoice in unrighteousness or in injustice, but instead rejoices when the truth wins out. The truth is the truth of God. So love towards an evil person is wanting the truth of God for them, is wanting not them to be in unrighteousness, not them to live in unrighteousness and injustice, because living in sin is unjust. Living in sin is unjust. If you live as a prideful, hateful person, you live exclusively for yourself and what you think is right. And you live for that. And that is prideful and that is unjust, right? So wanting the best for someone is wanting them to face justice for the things that they have done. That is what true love is, according to the gospel. So true love would be wanting the shooter to end up and face justice for what he did. Whether it be earthly justice that the government shall enact, or the heavenly justice that our Father in heaven is going to enact. But yeah, I don't know, I really wanted to talk about that because this world, this country is so, we hate each other so much. We need Jesus more than ever. We need God more than ever. We need the words in the Bible more than ever. The faith is the only thing that can save this country. The only thing that can save this country. Faith in God and the Bible and Jesus is the only thing that built this country to make it what it is today. You can disagree with me on that, but that is the truth and that is the fact. This country is built by Presbyterians that immigrated here, by Quakers that immigrated here, by the Pilgrims. A lot of them were like Congregationalists, right? There's like early Baptists that moved over here, right? There's some Methodist group, there's Anglican groups that were over here, right? A lot of them were escaping for religious persecution reasons because they were Protestants, and over there in Europe at the time, it was like very like whatever country you were in is what decided whether you were Catholic or you were Anglican, or if you were Protestant. It'd be depending on what country you're in. So the reason for this country existing is because of the Christians. It would not exist if it wasn't for Christ. The more we have abandoned Christ in the Bible and in God, the worse this country has become. This is the one thing that can save this country, and I truly believe that. I truly do believe that. It's the only thing that can save this country. For at the core heart of this problem, of this issue, is sin. And sin only has one solution. That is the blood of Christ. I pray for my country. I pray for the society. I pray for the world. May Lord have mercy. Christ have mercy. Lord have mercy. I pray for, like I said, his family. And may God be embracing Charlie in heaven right now. You know, I do believe he was saved. He who confesses Christ as Lord with their mouth shall be. I know it's kind of dark, kind of heavy, but I think it's needed for sure. I don't know how many people will watch this, but it is what it is. I think someone needs to hear this, you know, because it's the truth. God bless y'all and have a good day. What is up, YouTube? Vlog number 2. Well, this is technically my week 3 of school now, and the first one was week 1 of school. Last week, just to be honest, I got kind of sick, and then I'm still trying to figure out the whole YouTube editing thing and the whole video editing thing and all that. But I just got out of my Thursday class because today was Tuesday. Yesterday was Labor Day, so there was no class. Which is kind of nice about still being in school and stuff, is that, you know, you still get those holidays like Labor Day and stuff like that. I know a lot of other jobs don't. A lot of jobs, you're not necessarily secured a day off on something like Labor Day, you know, but that's kind of nice. I just got done with a software testing class, which is pretty interesting, to be honest. Hopefully, I've seen a lot of people talk about how computer science people end up working in software testing and stuff like that in the future. Like that's one of the first jobs that people get out of college. One of the jobs that's like very much for intro level, you know, people in this field and stuff like that. So it's interesting learning about it. This is what I think about college, because I feel like online recently, like by recently I mean like last few years, right? I've seen a lot of people talk about how college is not worth it anymore, and like college is, I mean, Charlie Kirk says how college is a scam, and I don't agree that college is a scam. I see where he's coming from though, because he makes good points, and how like most people don't end up working in what they choose to major in. Most people end up working in something completely different, and then a lot of jobs that people end up getting don't require a college degree to even work in the first place. So the reason why I would say college is not a scam is if you find something that you genuinely do love and enjoy and have a passion for, and you want to study it, bro, like, study it. You know what I mean? Like, there are people that are like have a passion for learning about animals, learning about life, learning about there's some people out there that have a passion for like different types of animals, different species of animals, about I don't know, studying, like they're just intrigued at how life works and how all this stuff works. Go get a biology degree, you know. Maybe you might like, you know, might actually enjoy just studying that and researching that sort of stuff. You might go into academia or stuff like that. You know, me personally, I went into computer science. I'll explain why I went into that field in a little bit, into that degree in a little bit. But what is it, like half of people that go to college go to like to get like a business degree? You know, there's like 50 different degrees that you can get. Not even, there's hundreds of different degrees you can get, and almost half of people that go to college go to just business. You know, and it's like, what are you doing with a business degree? It's like, if you want to start a business, you can just start a business. Just find something you know about, you're passionate about, and you want to start a business about it. Go ahead and do it. Most people that have successful businesses, you know, it's from trial and error. It's from, you know, figuring out themselves. But like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're still used to a business degree. I don't want to talk crap about everyone that has a business degree, but you know, my degree is in the College of Engineering. Engineering degrees are like, they're harder, you know? So it's like a lot of people don't go into this field, but the people that do, it's like we have one of the highest like average median salaries like coming out of college and stuff like that. Like just the College of Engineering alone. Not saying my major specifically, but just engineering in general have some of the highest entry-level salaries coming out of college. And the reason for that is just because it's harder, you know? Doing the things that people don't want to do is always going to be a benefit. There's always going to be a benefit to doing the things that other people don't want to do, right? Because you're doing it, and that means someone else doesn't want to do it, and that means someone's going to pay you to do it probably. Because it's hard work, annoying, and difficult to have to learn all the processes and things that go into building something, like engineering something, designing a product, like truly designing something from like scratch, like a microchip or something, you know? Like that's what people that are like in computer engineering. I'm computer science, but people that do computer, like just straight computer engineering, like that's where you're learning about microchips, and you're learning about how CPUs are designed and built. You're learning about how GPUs are built. You're learning about how motherboards are designed. You know, that's hard. That stuff is hard, bro. Like, I'm computer science, so it's like a mix between software engineering and computer engineering, kind of in the middle there. I mean, I have a good understanding of the physical side, the hardware side of computing, but I feel like I have a much better understanding on the software side. I mean, I can build a PC, but that's like simple stuff. You can build a PC from just watching YouTube. But like, like understanding how CPUs work, how the registers work, how a GPU works, how the motherboard works, how it communicates and all that sort of stuff. Like that's a little bit harder. Anyway, I'm rambling. What I'm trying to say is that if you're gonna go to college, it better be for something that you're actually passionate for, something you actually care about, because then it'll be worth it. If you genuinely don't have something you're passionate about like that you want to do, then there's honestly not much of a point in going to college. You're gonna waste your money and your time. Let's just be honest. Like, going for the experience I mean, you can do that. It's your life, broski. You can do what you want to do. But going for the experience and stuff like that, I think is a huge waste of money and time. Let's just be honest. Like, if you want to lock in for real, for the future and for what's good for you in the future and long term, it's doing something just for the experience is not the smartest idea. But, you know, you do you, to each their own. I personally chose my major, computer science, because I really do feel like a computer, a CPU, like a CPU, a central processing unit, a CPU, what it does, what programming is, what software is, what an operating system does, what the internet does, what networks do, how different networks communicate, how the IP addresses like work together, how the OS, like the layers that go into like the operating system, the OSI layer, there's the network layer, the transport, like all this stuff. I know I might be rambling to a lot of you, but all the stuff that goes into how computers work and how networks work, how the internet works, how all this stuff works is, in my opinion, the single most complicated, intricate, and fascinating piece of anything that humans have ever created. Humans have existed for thousands of years. We know that, right? And humans have been smart for thousands of years. And in those thousands and thousands of years of humans existing, the single most fascinating and like, it's truly magic. the single most fascinating and like thing that we've ever created is computers, and it's the internet, and it's Bluetooth and all this stuff. Like, when I finding out how Bluetooth works and all this, bro, I am baffled. How did people come up with this? Now that they're explaining it to me, I'm like, okay, I get how that makes sense. That sounds stupid hard. And how the hell did you guys even think to do that? I don't know, but it makes sense to me now that I'm starting to understand it a little bit. But then at the same time, I'm like, how did y'all come up with that? What? Like, yeah, y'all, oh my, like, we're talking to each other with light, bro. With light, invisible light that you can't even see with your eyeballs, but the devices can see it, and they talk to each other. And they're not just talking to each other by saying hello, hi. They're just like sending like gigabytes worth of information over space, over the air. Like, what? There's like YouTube videos like flying through the air right now, and you don't see them. Like, the data that's within YouTube videos, the data that's in a phone call, it's like floating through the air as we're speaking, and you don't see it. It's magic, bro. That's why I went into computer science. And unless you find something that you're truly passionate about in that way, that you're just like, I need to know more about this. How the heck does this work? What? Like, unless you find something like that, then there's no point in going to college, in my opinion. I'm on my last year on my bachelor's degree, right? And a lot of people don't. A lot of people go to college and they drop out. Most people do. I don't know. I actually don't know the stats. Don't quote me on that. But I know a lot of people don't finish college. Most people have partial, college credits and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, What matters is that you find something you're passionate about and you do it and you stick to it. It's just and sometimes there's ups and downs in life. Like, to be honest, it's not the best to be in a position where, as a grown man, like I'm 23, right? As a grown man, I have things I want to do. I want to get married, right? I want to move out. I want to start my own life. But it's kind of like hard to do that when I can't work full time, I'm taking 15 hours this semester and I can't work full time. Like, I can. I'm not full time. I can work part time. But like, if I work part time, I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to keep up with like the amount of homework I'm doing, the amount of work I'm doing. Like, I have Calculus 3, I have a senior design project, I have software testing class, an artificial intelligence class, a video game what's it called? Video game development class. And so there's 5 classes I'm taking, total of 15 hours. So it's quite a bit. I'm used to taking like 12 or 13, but 15 is a bit more. It's an extra class this time. And work part-time. But working part-time is not going to be enough to get me a house. It's not going to be enough to get me an apartment, let's be honest. Have you seen the prices these days, broski? Like, it's not going to happen with a part-time job. So I'm kind of just in a position where I kind of have to survive off of what I have, I have to make it do with what I have. I have enough to survive for like, I'll be fine. Thank God for my parents, right? I'm living at home. I'm not being charged rent. I gotta pay my gas and stuff like that, but we can manage. We'll make it through. And mom's still cooking, so we got food, right? It's like sometimes you gotta make sacrifices in this life, and I do feel like hopefully this is gonna pay off. At the end of the day, there's no way a college degree is gonna be negative to my life. Like, having a bachelor's degree is not gonna be like, it's not gonna affect me negatively in life. Like, it's not going to. At the worst, it's not gonna help, but that would suck if it doesn't help. But it's something you're passionate about and study it. It could be biology, it could be history. Some people are just obsessed with history, and people need to know history, right? If people forget history, the history is what's that quote? It's like, he who forgets history is bound to repeat it. Stuff like, yeah, that's the quote, I think. I know it's not true that history repeats itself, but its tune rhymes, is what I've heard. Ooh, that was a bar right there. I remember that from a professor I had a few years ago in community college. It was a history professor, but yeah. Yesterday, like I said, was Labor Day. I was trying to hit the gym, but I couldn't because I pull up and for some reason they're closed on Labor Day. Like, why is the gym closed on Labor Day? Makes no sense to me. But I was going there with my little brother, and since the gym was closed, we were both like, well, okay, I guess can't work out, so I guess we're gonna go hit a workout today, do an upper day. I might show a little bit of that. Pump the clip. we didn't end up going to the gym. We ended up going to this little music store. My little brother was like jamming in there, showing all the güeritos, the Mexican music on the guitar, bro. There's so many guitars. My little brother, like I can tell already, he's only 15, about to be 16. He has a passion for playing music and passion for guitars. Like I can already see that. And whenever someone has a passion for that, you just gotta feed into it, right? It's not gonna be negative. You have to feed into that. And in this day and age, you can do anything through the screen, right? I've been slacking by not posting videos. I know that these videos are not gonna get a lot of views right now. I might even have like 2, 3, 5, 10 views, whatever, right? But like, it is what it is. It's about, let's see where this goes. I feel like it's a good idea what I have, and I want to bet on this idea. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. See you guys in the next update. Porfa, Maya, vuelve conmigo, pero no como amigos como la última vez. Quiero confesarte, te extraño, como un loco te pienso, yo sé que tú también. Those clips you saw were from this morning. I went to school. As normal, it's a Friday, so end of the week now. This weekend I do have to go to drill, and hence why the beard is gone now, or the part beard I had. But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to drill, so that means I have to shave. I have to go to wherever I'm going. Not gonna disclose that, obviously, but I go somewhere. I do like training and stuff or whatever. It's not exciting. It never is. Every time I have a drill come up, it's always like, dang, here we go again. Because I'm towards the end of my contract now, so I'm about to get out actually, not next year. Next year hopefully, God willing, always. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I did my thing, and I'm good. I'm good now. Being in the military is super helpful. It opens opportunities. It helps with if you're going to school. It helps with tuition assistance, stuff like that. But like me personally, I'm not gonna do a full 20 years, as in like a full career out of it. I want to try being successful by something that I want. I mean, I like what I do. It's nothing that crazy. I'm not doing no combat or nothing, nowhere near. Don't believe that at all. I mean, in the army, there's all sorts of jobs, right? There's hundreds of different jobs. There's people who are veterinarians. There's people who are dental assistants. There's people who are like HR people, so like admin people. For like 42 alphas, they're basically just HR people, like admin people, right? There's people that do like fueling and mechanics and all sorts of jobs, right? So my job is not combat at all, right? My job is, I would say, closest to like an IT person in the army, like like an IT guy. But yeah, I mean it's nothing fancy. It actually does correlate a little bit again with my chosen path of career, like for my degree too, and what I want to do in the future. So that's why I picked the job. But it's still the military, so you still got to show up at like 6 a.m. or whatever they tell you to show up at. You still got to do like all the military stuff. Everyone who's in the army, you have to still qualify like every year shooting a gun. You have to shoot a gun and qualify, right? There's a certain, everyone has to be at least like somewhat proficient shooting a gun. Worst comes to worst, if you're like overseas or something, right? It's like worst comes to worst, everyone's expected to pick up a gun and fight back type of thing. So like you have to be able to shoot, like there's that. You have to be able to do a fitness test and pass it every year. So it's still the army. So you still got to meet grooming standards, obviously, whenever you're actively in duty doing stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, that's tomorrow. Not excited too much for that, but it is what it is. I signed the contract and we're here now and we're gonna finish it through. You know, get at DD 214. That's what we're here for. But But today was interesting. We have in one of the classes that we take as seniors, I guess in my school, is a senior design class, and it's essentially where we get assigned a group, right? And in this group, we get assigned a project, and then this project we essentially have to develop. We have to essentially do the whole process from planning, designing, implementing, and producing a product. Like since we're all like IT people, not IT, but like computer science, computer engineering, software engineering people. It's all the people that are in my class. It's all like techie stuff, you know. Like some of the projects were like create a drone that flies in the air and like scans a parking lot and then tells the person back sitting in the car where there's available parking spots if there are any, you know, stuff like that. Or like there's a lot of different stuff. There's like some of it was really like more hardware focused. So it was like make a what was it, a battery management system for like an electric car that they use for like an electric race car that they use. Another project was like it was like make a swarm of flying drones and stuff like that. Or there's some cool stuff. The project I got, I'm actually pretty excited for too because it's an IoT game, which if you're not a nerd, it means Internet of Things, and it essentially means how like we connect a bunch of like you know things that aren't normally connected to the internet. We connect it to the internet, and we get more functionality out of them. So in my project, we're supposed to connect, essentially get like a claw machine, right? And have it connected to the internet. But not just connected to the internet. We have to develop on top of that an app. And on this app, we are able to essentially control like a video game and have a camera within the claw machine, right? So we have a camera within the claw machine and we have an app, and over Wi-Fi, we're gonna be able, hopefully, right? It's the whole point of the game, to be able to like play the claw machine through the phone over Wi-Fi, and like the goal is to develop this like a full like almost like a arcade app where it's like not like an arcade but like a claw machine and maybe some other games and stuff like that that are like sort of like claw machines, but like essentially have them connected to this app, and then this app is on the phone so we can play the game while we're on the phone. So I find it really interesting, having to figure out how to connect because we have to build our own claw machine, right? And then we have to figure out how to connect that to a computer, and then connect that and get it somehow on the cloud, and then somehow find a way to be able to control them. Like it's cool. I find it pretty cool. A project I feel like it's actually gonna give me some valuable experience to hopefully bring on to the job field later on. So that'll be nice. I'm about to be heading to bed soon because I gotta wake up at what was it, 5 a.m. 4:50 a.m. actually, because I'm trying to not be late because being late is a terrible idea in the military. But yeah, I'm about to be hitting bed soon, and I'll probably see you guys in the next clip. What's up, YouTube? Now it's the weekend, and I had drill this weekend, like I said. I finally heading back home after the weekend. It was such an annoying weekend, and the thing about drill, right, is that for some reason, drill weekend, as in the weekend where I have to go do training or go do whatever they ask me to do, because it's once a month, right? So once a month there's a weekend where I have to go and for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes it's Friday through Sunday, sometimes it's Saturday, Sunday. But for a whole weekend I have to go do, whatever they ask me to do. It's usually the same shit, the same stuff, just it always lands at such bad timing when it comes to schooling. Like it's always the weekend before finals, the weekend before a midterm. It's always the weekend before, like on Monday I have my first presentation to do at a at this class I'm taking, my senior design class, where I have to design a product and stuff, and I have to give my first presentation on Monday, and I had to work on the presentation this weekend, and thankfully I have team members and they were able to work on it and stuff. But I just feel like I feel so bad. I feel like because I wasn't able to work on it much because I was literally yesterday, like I left my house. Yesterday I had to leave my house like at 5:30. I had to leave my house like at 5:30. I didn't come back until like 7 p.m. By the time I showered at 8, it was like 8. 8 p.m. and I'm just exhausted because, and then on top of that, this morning I had to wake up at 4 a.m. to freaking go do a PT test, even though I just did one like 2 months ago. I had to do one again because the Army's like changing PT tests. Like it's the same exact PT test, just with one less exercise, which is exhausting, dude. Like it's terrible. This PT test is just, by terrible I mean like it's hard. Well, it's not like, oh, it's hard to pass it. It's just hard exercises. Like the sprint, drag, carry is like, oh my gosh, my legs are just dead right after I finish it. My legs are just jello. They're just complete jello. I'm just like, I'm like completely out of breath because it's not even that long. It's like I finished mine in 1:55, which is not, it's not that, I mean, it's okay. It's an okay time. So I'm not too upset at it. When I was in AIT and in basic, my time was like 1:35. I was like way faster and way like in better shape, I guess, for running when I was in AIT and basic. Now I'm just way stronger. Like in basic, I could only do like 180, maybe 100. I remember in basic, I could only do like 160 pounds of my deadlift, and then 180 pounds when I was in AIT. Now I did like 280. Right? So, or no, I did 260, and then I was thinking of doing 280, but I was like, nah, I'm good. I don't really feel like it. It's like 5 a.m. and I'm like, out there, and I was like, it's all right. 260 is good enough. But I definitely could have done more. I've done like 300 before. Like the last time I took it, one of the last times I took it. So like my strength has gone up. I could do more push-ups and stuff, but my running, oh boy, my running has taken a dip. Because in AIT, my 2 miles, so at the end of all the exercises, because it's like 5 exercises, and the last one, the 5th one or whatever, is a 2 mile. At the end of, after doing like a 3 repetition max deadlift, after doing a max amount of push-ups within 2 minutes, a sprint, drag, carry, and then a plank, after all that, you then go run the 2 mile. And oh boy, that 2 mile at the end is terrible. I mean, it would be better if I ran, but I don't run. I'm just gonna be honest, and I probably should. I should probably run more. Like I'll hop on the bike and do some cardio there. So that's why my cardio isn't terrible. Like I can finish the 2 mile, like barely passing, but I can finish it, right? And like in basic, man, not in basic, in AIT, I remember my 2 mile was like a 14:50, which is good. It was like a good 2 mile. Now not no more. Now I'm trying to hit 20. I'm like 20's good, but even though it's like it used to be passing, but now they changed the standard, so it's like 30 seconds off of passing. But I'm gonna have to start running more to get my time better and all that. Definitely not a good runner anymore like I used to be. I used to be a good one, not no more. But yeah, this weekend's been tiring. It's 7 p.m. right now, and I'm barely sort of close to getting home. Still got a little bit of a drive, but I'm closer now. Yeah, I took off the nameplate in the unit patch, so you guys can't find where I'm at. Gotta keep it hidden. Gotta stay on the down low. So today I'm probably just gonna go try to work on my presentation a little bit. Go see my fiance a little bit. Hopefully, I'll hopefully have some time, even just for a little bit. Just go see her. I haven't seen her this weekend, so yeah. See, the thing about the military, right, is like every time I have to go to drill now, because I'm like 5 years in now. I'm not like brand new. I'm 5 years in. You can tell off the sham shield, the E4 Mafia shield. I'm honestly just kind of excited to get out already, to be 100% honest. Like as I've gotten older, I guess, like I'm still not that old. I'm 23. But I've gotten older from 18 when I signed up, right, to now. I mean, I've grown a lot in my focus, my goals, the things that matter to me in life have definitely changed. Like God is the only thing that matters to me now. And regardless of where I am, if I stay faithful and if I stay praising my God, regardless of my circumstance, I'm gonna be okay, because I have the one thing necessary, which is Christ. Like money comes and goes, right? Jobs come and go, be able to build something. I want to try and be successful in something on my own. I want to try building something and being successful from something that I've built or something that I've personally like. I want to try being successful with just me and God. You know, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll probably see you guys in the next clip. It is pretty on here. Jesus. So I appreciate you guys if you guys stuck around to the end. It's a pretty long video, so I don't know how many people actually will. There was a clip I actually didn't include, which I had, and I was like, yeah, it's already long enough, it's fine. But I appreciate you guys if you guys stuck around to the end. And once again, like from the beginning part of my video, it's funny because that first clip is actually like the newer clip. The rest of the clips from the video are older, but I felt like I had to talk about the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I feel like this country needs it, the society needs it, my generation needs it. We need Christ, we need God. Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, Lord have mercy. Always, obviously, like I said, pray and pray without ceasing. Pray for his family, pray for our enemies, the people that hate us, the people that hate our ideas and our beliefs. Pray for them so that they may find peace in their souls and their mind, because to live with hate in your heart is a miserable existence. Let's just be honest. There's not a single human being which I hate in this world. There's not, and there shouldn't be anyone that you hate either. People wrong us all the time, but we're still called to forgive. We're still called to love your enemies and pray for those that persecute you. So yeah, I appreciate it if you guys stuck around to the end, and God bless you.